There are other things that I still haven't shared with you that I had already bought. I don't know why. I'm sure a psychologist could have some fun with that. I just needed something for me. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to answer your questions, the questions that you left for me on both my YouTube community page and also on Instagram. For this Q&A, we're going to work through them. I haven't planned the answers, so let's get into them. Some of them are juicy. First question by the lovely Kim from KK Loves CC, one of my friends here on YouTube, asks me what the weather is like on Ban Island. It's not the best. I wouldn't say it's the tropical dream that I have when I think of a holiday, but I'm still on Ban Island. I did talk through the purchases in my last unboxing as to how they were ordered before Ban Island. I am not buying anything. I haven't bought anything since I started this. I have collected things that were already pre-ordered. There are other things that I still haven't shared with you that I had already bought, which led to Ban Island because I went on a bit of a spending mad period of time, and now I'm on a spending freeze. I'm still on Ban Island. I know my good friend Dale isn't, but I'm still here, and I will be here at least until the end of August, if not longer. My birthday's in August. But yeah, and I'm okay with it, to be honest. I'm not even feeling the urge to really break it because she just came along, and there's so many things that have arrived that I'm really happy with what I have at the minute, and I'm really enjoying my collection, and I'm enjoying using them and rotating the bags, and I'm not actively looking for anything. I'm not wishing I could jump off Ban Island to go and buy something, so that's not too bad. Devon Christopher here, also on YouTube, has a channel, is a fabulous guy. He asks me who my favourite YouTuber is. He says that Hassan Piker is his. He is a Twitch streamer. I don't even know what that means. But he uploads on YouTube. I'm not sure who your favourite is, Devon, but I'm not my favourite YouTuber. Now, I'm not going to talk about any luxury YouTubers because obviously there's quite a few luxury YouTubers that I watch, and I try to watch all of their videos, or as many as I possibly can. I think one of my favourite YouTubers outside of the luxury space is probably Ali Abdul. He has a productivity channel on YouTube. He also talks sometimes about investing and stocks and shares, and he talks a bit about YouTube as well. He talks about his own ethos on building his business, and he's very productive, and I just find him very easy to listen to. I find his videos very easy to understand. I think his style is really good, and he is probably one of my favourite YouTubers. Gwenny from Style by Gwenny asks me when I'm sending her my Birkin, which is this one over here. I've had a few of those questions on this Q&A. I've only just got her, folks. She's not going anywhere. Next question is from Jacqueline King, and she asks me, which is your favourite grab and go, not the Neverfull? I love how you all know that I would say that, but not the Neverfull. If you're just going to the corner shop or post office just as an easy carry bag, do you use a luxury bag for that or a different brand? I tend to use my contemporary bags as my grab and go, and my Luxus special or work bags. Just wonder if you take a Fendi to the grocery store or a high street bag. I generally take the Louis Vuitton multi-pochette accessoire. It's not in here, and you will very rarely see it sitting in here because it's generally lying downstairs, because that's the bag that I would take as a grab and go. It's really light, it's really compact, it sits really flat against your body. If I have the boys with me, it's really light to wear and easy to use, hands-free. I can fit in at my phone, my keys, my money, my fob, my whatever else I need to go in it, I can fit in there. So generally the bag that I will grab if I'm just running to the grocery store will be the multi-pochette accessoire, which is funny because it's a bag when it was first released that I absolutely hated. James Jam, who also has a channel here on YouTube, also asked me if she can have the Birkin. I got a few of those. There's a lot of Birkin questions in here, but on more serious questions, she said to me, what moves you creatively or artistically? I would have to say colour and texture are right up there based on your choices of bags. But can you delve into that a little more? It can be in terms of bags and or being a content creator. Ooh, that's an interesting question. Depends how deep you want me to go on that. Certainly if it's things that I'm looking to buy, or if I'm feeling artistic or creative, or if it's decor, or if it's putting something together, colour and texture, you're absolutely right, are big things for me. I love bright colour. I think colour makes me feel happy. I like texture to bags. I like sequenced, and you can see tweeds and stuff in there. I work in a very corporate environment, so our corporate uniform is quite subdued. It's quite dark. So whenever I have the opportunity to express my own personality a little bit more, I will generally always go for colour, for bright, for a bit in your face, a bit gaudy, a bit tacky, a bit where people are going, what is she wearing? Yes, I've had that, but I'm happy with it, and I think it allows me to express my own personality and my own self a bit more than wearing the corporate version of what the work world thinks I should wear. So that's something definitely that I feel is a way that I can express myself more. I have always just been attracted to colour and to soft fabrics. I don't know why. I'm sure a psychologist could have some fun with that. But always growing up, that's what I was attracted to. If it was my room in uni, if it was my first house, whatever it was, my first house actually had an orange leather sofa. It had orange leather psychedelic wallpaper that looked like it was from the 70s. I had an old-fashioned phone in it. I still have an old-fashioned phone. I still have an old-fashioned record player. I like vintage. I like things that are just a little bit different and out there. And if I can find a photo of that orange sofa and the wallpaper, I will show you. But it's just, I just always have. I've always been attracted to things that are just bright, a bit different, and a bit in your face, probably. Style by Gwenny asks another question, and she says, YouTube versus life is a struggle. Have you ever thought enough is enough? It absolutely is a struggle. It is a struggle to juggle my full-time job and my business, my family commitments. I have 4 dogs, my 2 children, and then also to film. And I put out on this channel 2 videos a week on a Wednesday and a Saturday. I also have another channel, Amelia Rose Talks. I am a bit more sporadic over there. I generally put out at least a video a week, sometimes 2. Some weeks there aren't any, depending how busy things have got. But yet that is a struggle to do all of those things and to stay on top of it. But have I ever thought enough's enough? I did take a break of over 6 months on the other channel, Amelia Rose Talks, because I simply was at breaking point. I couldn't manage anymore. I was work coming out of my ears. We were short-staffed. I thought I was going to actually have a bit of a meltdown. I was at breaking point. I was at burnout, and I did take a break there, and I definitely thought on the 2 channels enough was enough, and I just couldn't do it. I also didn't feel motivated to do it. That channel talks more about work and finance and being self-employed. They were not happy words for me at the time because I was so overwhelmed with the amount of work I was doing. I had no motivation to do it. And yes, I felt enough was enough. I actually privated all of those videos for a while because there was a period of time when I didn't see myself ever returning to doing those videos because I just felt so under pressure. On this channel, no, this channel has always been through that my kind of outlet and escape from that, because it's pretty things that are handbags. There's nothing overly serious over here. I know I've made a few serious videos maybe on judgment and on other people's opinions and on finances to do with buying luxury, but generally we're talking about handbags, and they're pretty and they're fun and they're bright. And I love making these videos. I don't have anyone else really apart from Bestie in real life to talk about all these things to. So I love coming on here and talking to you guys and talking about handbags and showing you things and looking at colours and just being excited about it. So I've never thought enough is enough on this channel because I genuinely really enjoy it. It is my creative outlet. It is my break and my escape from work. It's my hobby. It's time. I love my children and I love my family, but this is I do for me, and that's one of the reasons why I started this channel. I started it during lockdown. I was at home with the children because my husband is an essential worker. I was also still trying to keep the business going, and I just needed something for me. Something that was not trying to keep everybody employed and keep the business going and trying to pay everybody their full wages during the lockdown, trying to keep the children entertained, trying to do the homeschool, trying to do everything to keep us all sane. My husband being out at work, it was a lot. I have a job that's very, very involved. I have a business that's very involved. I'm very fortunate with that, not only from a business side, but also that it gives me a real purpose. I have my own life and my own world in there. I have a lot of people that I am friendly with. I have real friends in there. I also have a lot of colleagues that I'm friendly with that we can go for coffee, go for lunch. It breaks up the day, breaks up the working week, and it's a whole little bubble. And when that was gone, I felt a little bit lost. I think I probably, even though I adore my children, I think I probably felt a little bit, where is my purpose? What is my purpose? I don't particularly think I was very good at being at home every day of the week. It did show me I would like to be at home more than I am, but I don't think I was very good at being there every day of the week. I longed for something else, and I don't say that against anybody that is a stay-at-home mum, because it's very difficult. I learned this is just me, and this YouTube channel was something that I started for myself to give me something that was not work, not family, not answering what everybody else needed. It was just for me, where I could come on and talk about pretty things and just things that I am interested in. So I've never thought about giving up this channel, because it really is a joy for me, and it is an outlet, and I really and the people I've met, I now have people to talk to apart from Bestie about these things. So definitely not this one, but the other channel did become too much for a while, and because of the content it was very like working. So I suppose that's a 50-50 answer on that one. Sarah Butler asks, my first 5 luxury bags. Okay, can I remember? Number 1, the Neverfull. Number 2, the Louis Vuitton Brea in the size, the bigger one. If I can find a picture, I'll put it on because I no longer have it. Number 3, the Louis Vuitton Speedy 25 in the Empreinte leather. Again, I no longer have it. Number 4, the Chanel boy bag. I think, I'm not sure on 4 or 5. Number 4, I think, was the Chanel boy bag, and number 5, I think, was the Louis Vuitton Brea in the PM size. Both of the Breas were the same colour. One was very slightly deeper, but they were this sort of colour, my favourite colour. That's why I bought them. The boy I loved, the Empreinte Speedy 25, was the same colour. I bought all of those bags because I loved the colour, and I bought those bags before I realised that apart from the Neverfull, everyday life, smaller bags work for me. And most of all of those bags have left my collection apart from the Neverfull. Sarah also asks, best luxury shopping experience versus the worst luxury shopping experience. Okay. Worst, let's do first. I've had a few of those. When I travel with my husband, I don't worry about what I'm carrying with me. Am I dressed up to the nines? Would you know what my tax bracket would show you by what I'm wearing? Absolutely not. I don't think like that anyway, so I don't start thinking like that whenever I'm traveling. And I've had some awful experiences whenever we have been away. Whenever we were in New York, Chanel in New York, where I actually bought a scarf, but they just looked us up and down. It was winter in New York, it was December, we were dressed for that, and they just looked us up and down. It was awful. I felt like I didn't belong. I felt uncomfortable. I shouldn't have bought the scarf. I should have just said to them, I wasn't at the same level of being comfortable and confident in myself as I am now. Now I would know how to handle that situation. So that was a really bad luxury experience. I also had a really bad luxury experience in Chanel in London when I first started buying luxury. Again, looked up and down. What are you doing in here? You shouldn't be in here. Just made you feel pretty rubbish. Probably the worst I had was many years ago, and this wasn't even really luxury, but there are a couple of shops in a certain area that I had went into, and one of them is the kind of more diffusion line and one of them is the more upscale, and I was much younger at the time. I probably was dressed in very inexpensive clothing, and that obviously must have shown. And the way the staff in that store treated me, if that store was still there, I would go back and have a Pretty Woman moment with my bags, to be honest. It was that bad. And I'm not normally like that, but it was awful. They just looked me up and down, spoke to me like I was dirt, spoke to me like I was something that shouldn't even have been in through their door. And that has an impact. It has a lasting effect. It took me a long time to be comfortable going into luxury boutiques. I used to be very nervous. I have a couple of tales when I'm nervous that I now know. And I was uncomfortable, and I think those are some of the worst experiences I've had. Best experience I have had luxury, I've had a few. I'm very lucky now that I've had some fabulous experiences in luxury boutiques. When I go to Dublin, I generally have a great experience in Louis Vuitton, in Chanel and in Hermes. Anita, my SA in Dublin, is fabulous, absolutely fabulous. I have a great time every time I go there. Chanel, I have also had great times in Dublin there and in Hermes. I will say one that's outside of Dublin is the Louis Vuitton store on Fifth Avenue in New York. I had a fabulous, fabulous time there. The SA was brilliant. She was the opposite of what Chanel had been like. We got so much time. We were treated so well, and that I will always remember how good that experience was. Also, to be honest, Louis Vuitton in San Francisco also had a fabulous, they gave me a tour of the store and everything, also had a fabulous time there. So those two stand out above and beyond, and as well as the experiences I've had in Dublin. And Sarah also asks, what started your luxury bag interest? I like bags. I've always liked fashion. I've always liked clothes. My mum always liked clothes, even though she didn't really have the income to buy them. I've always loved shoes, so my luxury addiction probably started with shoes above and beyond and before bags. I bought Louboutins for a long time, Jimmy Choo, a lot of designer shoes. I love shoes. I still love shoes. I just can't walk in them the same. I have two young boys. I don't have the same opportunities, but I still love shoes. Bags then I think came as a follow-on whenever I started to work more outside of my own office and to be around different meetings and things. I came across bags more. I got introduced to them more. I started going into stores more whenever you start to pick up the confidence a bit. And that's crazy that you should have to pick up your confidence to walk into a store where they want to take your money. But I had that for a long time. And I think it's the colour of them. It's the colours, it's the textures, it's the fabrics. I have collector tendencies. I just love them. They're just like a rainbow sitting behind me and they make me happy. Dragamboa Zolinka Acupuntura. I'm sorry if that's not close. And you are always on my channel. I really appreciate your support. So if I have butchered that, I'm very, very sorry. You have asked me the same question I always ask, like new strategies for rotating bags. I think I'm now at 60 or 70 and so challenged to rotate them. Maybe I just need to purge. Well, first thing I would say to that is don't purge unless you actually really want to and you're ready, because you'll have seller's regret. And if you get rid of any of the ones that you still love, you're going to regret it. So I would say only purge if you're purging for the reason that you're ready to let go of certain bags. How do I rotate my bags? I'm bad at this. I will be the first to admit that I need strategies to get better at this. I generally stick to the never fill every day for work, and then there can be some of these that will be worn a lot, others that aren't. I'm bad at rotating my bags. What I do try to do though is whenever I am not in work clothing, or if we are going out somewhere after work, I try to bring another bag. Weekends I try, if it's not the grabbing and go to the grocery store with the boys, try and with outfits rotate bags. I have a number of pink bags so that I have to consciously make sure that I rotate them. But if anybody has good strategies for that, I would be interested in hearing them, because I'm not brilliant at it. But I do try at the weekends whenever, or anytime I'm not wearing work clothes, to just rotate the different colours to go with them and make sure I'm not sticking to one thing. Updated wish list is asked by Momo Kiki. I'm on Ban Island and I'm still on Ban Island, so I don't really have a wish list at the minute. I suppose always on my wish list is the Mini Kelly. I think it's absolutely fabulous in a really bright colour. I would love that. There is the 30 Montium box bag in the oblique print is still on my wish list. I really, really like it. And I also have a couple of fashion jewellery bracelets in Hermes that are on my list that my SA's trying to get me. But above and beyond that, I don't really have much of a list at the minute. I am actually really enjoying what I have in my collection at the minute and using them and making use of them and smiling at them stupidly. So I'm not really actively pursuing a wish list at the minute because I am on a spending freeze. Alicia Mullaney asks, please update us on your 4 dogs. They're crazy. They are crazy, but they are the best fun. If you watch my channel, Amelia Rose Talks, there's a vlog series over there which is tracking weight loss, but you see the dogs a lot more on that channel because I'm walking the dogs a lot on that channel. But they're fab, they're crazy, they're fun. It keeps the house lively. The two pups are eating everything. They're eating our woodwork. The guy that does our woodwork was here this morning actually measuring for the new handbag room. That's coming. And he took a look at some of the woodwork downstairs and he just cringed because Ginger especially chews it like mad. When they get out of the puppy stage, that's going to have to be filled in and replaced. If the boys leave down their toys, their books, shoes, whatever, they're chewing like mad. They're really fun though, and they're really, really loving dogs. All doing fabulously, and I love them all. They are very much members of our family, so thank you so much for asking about them. Sarah asks, would you like to do the luxury live show with Kat and Amy? Well, if they want me and if they'd have me, I'd love to do it. Amy is someone that I have watched for a very long time. I watched Fashionably Amy's channel before I even really watched very many channels or watched YouTube very much. I found her reviews to be very thorough. I then found Kat's channel through Amy's channel, and that's how I started to watch Kat. I think they're both fabulous ladies. Their luxury live show I don't watch as much because of the time. I've watched some of them whenever they then upload them and you can rewatch them, but the time difference would be probably a challenge because where the ladies are based and where I'm based, it might be difficult to get a time that would work, but I think they're fabulous. So of course, if they wanted to chat to me, I'd come on and chat to them. Anna Carmelino, again, I hope that you also are a great supporter of my channel, so I hope I've got that close. Asks, if you had to start your bag collection from scratch, which one would you start with and why? I recently did a video on the 5 bags that I would buy if I was restarting my collection, and I'll link that up above somewhere so you can see that. But if I was to buy just one bag and start again, it's a boring answer, it would be the Neverfull. I adore that bag. It was my first bag. It's so useful for work. It's so useful to put my laptops and everything in. That would definitely be the first bag I would rebuy if I had none of these at all. Jenny B asks, what do you think of Louis Vuitton's fall for the Fall Winter 22 garden collection? Do you think brands are coming out with too many collections in a year, and do you like it, or would you prefer brands to come out with less collections? The garden collection I haven't really looked at too much. Ash from Ashay Lux on Instagram posted a picture of a card holder that he's got that I think is from that collection. It's a silver with the floral in the imprint, and it's stunning. It is very, very beautiful, his card holder. The bags, I don't think for me. I'm not really a flower person for bags, I don't think. I haven't looked at it in too much detail though because I'm on Pan Island and I'm trying not to shop and I'm trying not to build up a wish list, and I know myself, but I think that one, to be honest, there was none of the bags when they first come out that I thought, ooh, I have to have that, or that I was overly tempted to come off Pan Island for. Do I think they're coming out with too many collections? It does seem to be when one finishes very quickly, there's another and another and another. And I suppose that does fuel a bit of the FOMO and fuel a bit of the keeping up with the collections. I don't really go for collections, as you can see. I generally, if there's something in them that I really like this Petite Mal, I will buy it. But I don't feel the need to have to buy from every collection. I don't have the funds to have to buy from every collection. I suppose it might be nice if they slowed down a little bit and give us a little bit of a break in between. I think the Louis Vuitton, is it the Stardust collection, was very close to the Garden collection and other collections. I think maybe just if there was a little bit more time and space to catch your breath and see what you really want and evaluate what you have, I maybe would prefer that, but that's probably against their marketing goals and their finance goals and probably would hurt their sales, so I doubt they're going to listen to me on that one. Julia says, hi, thanks for making this Q&A. Do you know a nice safe place where I could sell my luxury items? It depends where you're based. There are consignment stores. I personally have started using consignment more. I did do a vlog sale once and everything in that went very smoothly apart from one bag, though it's a risk and it takes a lot of time and you need to trust, I suppose, who's receiving it is going to be legitimate. They're trusting you. Recently, when I've sold a few of my bags, I have used consignment, and there's some fabulous consignment stores. I've used that because it takes away the risk really, and it's just, I find it very smooth and seamless. There are a number of consigners on Instagram. I have personally consigned with Rod at The Lux Theory. I have consigned with Sasha at Global Lux Closet. I have consigned with Ash at Lux Lover on Instagram, and all of them has been very smooth. I haven't had any difficulties with any of them, and I would certainly work with them again. JD 2018 says, what are those fluffy things on your tootsies? Love them. Those are my Prada shoes that my husband absolutely hates. They are these because they're underneath me. He absolutely detests these. I really like them. I did avoid wearing them for quite some time because I used to get so much abuse and it really wasn't worth it. I've now started wearing them because who cares what he thinks, and I genuinely need to get this top tightened. But I really love them. I would link them down below so you can take a look at them. I think they are pretty cool, and yeah, who cares what the husband thinks. Nick Snell, also my friend here on YouTube, Nick has his own channel as well. He asks me, now you have the Birkin, do you feel you have ticked the Holy Grail bag box? If not, what's next on that list? A big part of that, yes, I do, Nick. I think that getting that bag was just, that was the dream for me in those specific colour specifications, leather, size, I was obsessed with that bag. So yes, I do think for me there is a big tick on my Holy Grail bag. If I was not to get another Hermes bag in my life, I'm going to die happy because I feel very lucky and privileged to have what I have. So yes, I think a big part of that answer, yes, but if I had the option of another one, I would love a mini Kelly, and I would love a mini Kelly in a very bright colour. That would probably be the next Holy Grail bag, but I am not actively pursuing it. It is on my wish list in Hermes. If it was to come up, that's the one thing I would break Ban Island for, if they give me a phone call and said we have one in store for you to buy. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, but it's on my wish list. Would I buy one from the Preloved market? I don't know. At the minute, they're too expensive. Like what I paid for this, a mini Kelly at the minute, is way above what my limit was on that. If they come down a bit, maybe who knows what will happen in the future. But if it came from the store, that would be amazing. Nick also asks, what have been your motivations to build the success that you are? Thank you. I suppose I grew up from a very modest background. There wasn't a lot of money about. And I knew and could see how much my mum worked. She worked 7 days a week to keep and provide for us. And she never had very much for herself. She always, and I learned that and realised that much more as I became an adult and time went on. You have a lot more insight and perspective. And I now realise just how much she did without and how little she left herself. But I remember seeing how much she worked and realising she never had much for herself. And I guess, if I'm honest, that motivated me to want to just have things a little bit easier and more comfortable. Now, contrast that, I work a lot. That's in me and it comes from her. But I'm in the very privileged position in the work that I do earns a higher salary level. So I don't have the same difficulties that she had, in that she was trying to balance and make ends meet, whereas I have more surplus. So I feel very fortunate for that, but she did instill that work ethic for me. I suppose I also wanted to be happy, and I don't think that success equals money equals happiness. I don't, and I have talked about this on my other channel, Amelia Rose Talks, and I will talk about it more over there. But for me, I wanted to be happy, and being happy for me is working and succeeding and not just relying on other people to do things for me. That's not really in me. So I think that drive mixed with that motivation kept me going and got me to the point that I'm at. And I have a whole, I could talk about this, I probably will talk about this in another video on the other channel, but I think not focusing just on the end goal helps. Okay, Steph from Handbag Holic, also with the fabulous YouTube channel, asks me, next item on your wish list. I'm on a ban. I'm on a freeze. Ultimately would be the mini Kelly. I absolutely adore it. And probably more realistically would be the 30 Montaigne box bag. I really, really love it. I think it's really cool. It reminds me of the Petite Mal, and there are those couple of bracelets that my essay's trying to get me in Hermes. Johan Simonica asked me, I ask exactly the centimetre on your extended double flap chain. I can't remember exactly, I think it was 22 centimetres, but if you are considering that, I will link a video up above or below that it talks about all of that process and gives the details of the length that I used to have and what I extended it to, and that's probably a good resource if you're thinking of doing it before you make the decision. Diana SB asks me my favourite restaurant in Belfast. Probably Meat Locker. I really, really love the food in Meat Locker when I'm in Belfast. I like to eat there. Hunting for Luxury says, what first made you fall in love with luxury and what was your first luxury item? Oh, what first made me fall in love? I've always liked pretty things. I've always liked bright things. I've always liked different things. Even way before it was luxury, I've always liked things that were just that little bit different. I've always liked little boxes and things that had painting on them. I've always just been drawn to it. It moved into luxury, I suppose, whenever I became more aware of luxury, whenever I started working, whenever I built up in my career. I was around luxury a bit more, opened up to the world of that, because in the vast majority of my life before that, wouldn't have known what it was if it hit me in the face. Started then going into stores more and started getting attracted to it a bit more, and then realised, oh, this is a love of mine now that's costing me lots of money, but I don't regret it, and I've talked about that. I very much enjoy it, and I think it brings me happiness. My first luxury item, way back when, I had a Chloe Paddington bag, way back, but my ex-boyfriend from when we were much younger bought that on eBay, so I have no idea if that was authentic or not. I think probably it wasn't. I then bought a Chloe bag before I could afford luxury. I bought it on a credit card, silly me, and not in a good way on a credit card. Talked about this on my other channel, and I sold it because I couldn't afford it and I was getting into debt and interest to buy it. That's just madness. Got rid of it. So my first luxury item of what I class as being my luxury items that I've now been in a position to keep and maintain was my first Neverfull, which, love and adore. Mons asks, do you always see yourself living in Ireland, and if not, where would you move to? I suppose I always see myself having a base in Ireland. My family is here. My children are being educated here. My in-laws are here. My friends are here. My business is here. But my long-term goal or plan would be to also have somewhere in a hotter country, because I don't really love the weather, and I love the sun, and I love the water. I love the sea. I feel free and myself and at peace whenever I am at the beach and by the water and by the sea. I love to swim. I love to swim in the sea. And as much as Ireland has some beautiful beaches, it doesn't always have the weather to go with those. So I would ultimately like to have somewhere hot that's not too far of a flight, that you can still fly home, that we can go to and spend probably extended periods of time at. LV Love Affair asks, what do you think started your interest in luxury bags? I don't really know for luxury bags. I think it was when I started working, as I said, when I started to see them more, and I was like, ooh, what is that? I loved the Louis Vuitton monogram print on site. That is probably one of the things that sparked my interest on site. I adored that print. I thought, oh, I gotta have some of that. So probably Louis Vuitton monogram is what sparked this whole crazy thing. Love Affair also asks what was the first 5 luxury bags, and I have answered that earlier. That's a popular question. And then Rich Shapiro, thank you so much. You ask how I'm feeling. I'm feeling good. I am not as burnt out as I was. I am making a bit more time. The summer is a period of time when my work's not just as busy as what it can be at other times, so I have a bit more breathing space when it comes to time. I'm spending a lot of time with the boys and the dogs, and I'm reading a lot. I'm going to talk about that on my other channel. I have missed reading. I think it's a fabulous way for me to clear my mind and get some space in there. So I am feeling good. I'm feeling also good having lost the weight. If you're following my other channel, you'll know there's a weight loss vlog series over there. I'm about 12 pounds down at the minute, and I feel much better for it. I'm not finished. I still have probably over a stone I could do with losing, but I'm starting to feel already better in myself for the weight that's been removed already. But thank you so much for asking me that question. And Purses, that's a cool name, asks, you win $5,000, handbags or jewellery? Handbags. Not going to think it through, not going to think about what is the better investment or any of that. I'm just going to give you my gut reaction, and as handbags, I just love them. Why? I just love them. I love the colours, love the fabrics. Handbags. If it was jewellery, what would I buy? Probably not something from one of the houses, so probably not Cartier or Van Cleef or anything like that. I would probably go to the jeweller that we have got most of our jewellery pieces from and buy something there, or potentially a really nice watch if I was going to choose jewellery. But handbags would probably pip it at the post. Dennis Ha asks, what colour would you prefer in the Mini Kelly? I would just love a bright pop of colour. So an orange, a really bright orange, a yellow, I was going to say a deep pink. Yes, a deep pink, but I have a few of those. A few. So a bright colour or a teal. Oh, the teal colour would be lovely. A really lovely aqua blue, anything bright, a bright colour. The one thing that I stayed with my wish list for the mini Kelly for in Hermes is because I have much more flexibility on the colour there. The Birkin, I only wanted that colour and not another shade. Not a shade different. Mini Kelly, anything bright, and I would be loving my life. Sang asks, any popular opinions about luxury bags, i.e. I think the black classic flap looks grannish. I love it. Yeah, of course. I am not really a lover of a lot of the Hermes bags. I do like the main three, and it's not just because they're the main three, but I like them. I generally don't like a lot of their other bags. So that's unpopular. I generally don't love Chanel 22 bag. I just can't see what would push me to buy that bag. I generally don't really love the Prada Crystal bag. No, that's not right. I love that bag, but I don't love it for me. Like when I see Gwenny rocking hers, I love it. But when I tried it on myself, I didn't love it for me. And I know that's a fabulous bag that's really popular, so that's probably not the most popular of opinions. I don't really love the Louis Vuitton Alma, and that's such a popular bag. I have a video that I did recently of the 9 luxury hot popular bags that, I think it was 9 or was it 10, that I won't buy, and that probably gives you even more detail into some of my unpopular opinions. CC Spy asks, when can we meet up? Hopefully very soon. We're meant to have met up so many times already, and then my crazy work schedule gets in the way. Travelling with the boys gets in the way, but hopefully very soon. That is high up on our list of things to do. Just imagine. But can I please be off Ban Island? I don't think that I should come and meet you and we should go shopping until I'm off Ban Island. I think that's a hard line in the sand. I need to be able to shop. Topia asks, do you have a hidden talent? Well, I can't sing. That's definitely not a hidden talent. I'm pretty much tone deaf. I can draw though. I can draw. I can paint. I'm pretty decent at art. I don't really get time to do it, which annoys my husband because he would like me to do it more, but I'm pretty decent at art. Purstopia also asks, do you have a naughty side to your personality? Yes, is probably the only answer to that. My mum often told me when I was younger that, maybe I have a complex over this, that if I had came first, my brother wouldn't have came along because he's quite calm and he's quite settled and you would know where he would be, whereas she said she would hear boom, 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 boom down the stairs, the front door slam, and I was gone. And she wouldn't know where or when I was coming back or what I was doing. So yes, definitely a naughty side to my personality. I can be quite mischievous. I'm also quite impulsive and I can be quite fiery. First, Topia again, where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? 5 years, probably not much different because my youngest is only about to turn 3 soon. So he is still very young and my oldest just turned 6. So they will still be in the education system. We will still be providing for them. Even 10 years, they'll probably, hopefully still be in the education system. So we're going to still need to be earning or have enough money to support them and what they want to do. So 5 years, probably not that much different. I do hope by 5 years coming into 10 that I am starting to be able to work less, probably not at the 5, probably closer to the 10. I would like to be working less. I would like more balance. I would like more time when I wasn't physically working because I work a lot. My husband says to me, and my mum says to me, you will drive yourself nuts if you're not working. I can't imagine you doing nothing. And that's something I will have to master because I am not good at doing nothing. I'm generally always doing something. Even if it's not my business type work, I'm generally always doing something. But I would like to be towards the 10-year side, starting to work a bit less. I would also be hoping that we were a bit closer to that dream of having somewhere in the sun and able to use it, because I would, by that age, I'm into my 50s. So I would like to have that in motion, if not achieved, a much closer than where it is now. We love our 33 5 fave bags from 5 brands. Okay, no planning, let's just fire these. The Hermes, I already have one, so that's easy. It's the Birkin 25. Oh no, I'm stuck. Chanel will be the mini, Chanel Mini, the rectangle. I absolutely love it. Fendi is the baguette. You can just see those up on the shelf. I am a real lover of those. Louis Vuitton. There's so many bags from Louis Vuitton that I really love, and I'm looking at them in the viewfinder. I think at a push, maybe the Petite Mal. I love that bag. When I bought that bag, it hit me. Why have you waited so long? I love that bag much more than I thought I would. I just love it. But I also love the mini capucines. Also love the Neverfull. Also love the twist. I'm not very good at this with Louis Vuitton. I am a Louis Vuitton lover. There's a few Louis Vuitton bags that I really, really love. And then we have one more. Gucci would be the little mini one. That's somewhere, the little Gucci Super Mini in the multicolour. That's the only Gucci bag I have, but I really love that bag. Dior. Love the saddle bag because it's quirky and it's different. Love my version that I just got of the Lady Dior. Also love that little Montaigne box bag. I don't know if I've used the Dior enough to say which one's my favourite. Do love the saddle bag because I love the different shape. I know people say it looks like a kidney bean, but I don't really care. Wild Unfiltered says, what's next on your wish list other than the mini Kelly? My next wish is Speedy 20 and On Point leather. Wild Unfiltered has a channel now as well, so check her out too. Probably the 30 Montaigne box bag from Dior in the oblique. I think it's fab. It reminds me of the Petite Mal. I really, really love it. It's the one that's probably skirting about on the side of my brain quite a lot that I can't really ignore. I think it's probably next other than the mini Kelly. Are you loving the Birkin 25, also from Wild Unfiltered? Oh my goodness, yes I am. I just think she's a dream. I really, really love her, and I'm so glad that I waited to get the exact specifications that I wanted. She makes me happy even just looking at her. Love that bag. Wild Unfiltered again, when are we going to meet up? Miss you too, but you're in the sun right now when I'm filming this, so I don't have a lot of sympathy. I want to be there, but not doing the fitness side. I could do the relaxation side, but hopefully we're all going to meet up again soon. And then Kat Sang asks again, is it still the case in Northern Ireland that you only really see people with LV? I moved away in 2007. Okay, I cross between both parts of Ireland a lot. I see probably a bigger mix of bags whenever I am in the Dublin area, and that's probably not a surprise. In the north, I suppose you do still, the house that I would see the most of is probably Louis Vuitton, but there is a store opened in the north now that sells Gucci, a bit of Prada, I think, a bit of Fendi, YSL, Balenciaga, and a few other brands. So you're starting to see more of those bags as well because they're now available in Belfast. They're definitely becoming a bit more popular of what you would see whenever you're out and about. Still don't see a huge amount of Chanel unless you're in certain places, and then you'll see more Chanel. Like if you're having cocktails in the Merchant, you'll probably see Chanel, but probably still a lot of Louis Vuitton. And that was our last question. I got to the last question without realising it was the last question, and I'm looking at the viewfinder and we're at an hour. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry this is so long. I didn't realise or didn't plan to make it so long, but I wanted to answer all of your questions that you were good enough to leave me and support my channel with. Thank you so much for leaving your questions. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Please take care, and I will see you again in the next one.